Okay, so we're finally here. Hello, everyone. My name is Benja, and of course, I'm here with my really good friend, Makenia. Uh,
How's it going, everybody? I'm Mike
we're
Kenyon.
going to show you right now Azure Striker Gunvolt, a really old and, of course, Mega Man game that will be loved.
from the distant year of 2014.
Yeah, finally, we're playing
God,
not
that feels
FX.
like forever ago.
Finally.
All right,
we're ready.
away.
So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so this is speedrun mode of Azure Striker Gunvolt. Azure Striker Gunvolt is a game by Inchi Creates, the guys who made the Mega Man 0 and ZX games, as well as Mega Man 9 and 10. They are, they worked on the Mega Man X series before they left Capcom to form their own company. So basically, these guys have built their entire careers on Mega Man, and you're going to see a lot of, very familiar gameplay in that. The story is you are a teenage adept named Gunvolt, or GB, and he was abducted by an evil corporation and experimented on, and this result of that was they gave him superpowers, the psychic ability to control lightning. He was rescued by a freedom fighting group, and now he fights against them using the powers that they gave him. If you have ever seen something like Kamen Rider or X-Men or played Final Fantasy VII, this is the kind of plot that would be very familiar to you. So you're going to see like a lot of dashing, wall jumping, and shooting, but the core conceit of this game is you don't just shoot to kill things. You tag them with lightning rods as darts fired from your gun, and then you use your lightning field called the flash field to electrocute them to death. And because the lightning streams lock on to everything that you've tagged, you can tag multiple targets at once. And the idea is to tag multiple enemies and use them to set up simultaneous kills and combos. And these add to the big number you see on the left there, which is called the kudos meter. It is basically an equivalent to the style meter from the Devil May Cry games, where you do big, complex, flashy combos without taking damage and just go from D all the way up to A into S. That being said, we're not going to be doing much of that because in speedrun mode, the objective is just to go fast. So we're not going to be taking our time setting up big sort of 5, 6, 7 man kills. We're just going to be trying to get to the end. So you're going to be seeing you can tag a single enemy up to 3 times, and we'll get a weapon soon that will enable us to have up to 5 tags on screen at once, which will enable us to do a lot more damage than we currently can. And you're also going to see a lot of mashing just to because the darts themselves do a small amount of damage, and the contact with the flash field that surrounds you that does some damage as well. So ideally, you want all these 3 damage sources lining up on the target like a boss to deal as much damage as possible and kill them as quickly as possible.
The funny part of this category is on every single moment of the run, you're gonna watching every single input. So everything you really want to learn, or if you have someone showing you the game, you're gonna watching every single input, idea, matching, and every stuff. So that's always awesome. This particular category is only on the Steam version of the game. I don't know why, but that's happening. If you're watching a weird load time sometimes, or another videos or another runners, this game is really bad optimized on PC. So usually, it depends on how many resources you have in your PC, you're gonna have more or less load time than the usual. For example, right now I'm using a video broadcast, and at the same time it's streaming, so I have less resources for my PC, and I have a little bit more load time than the usual.
Is so this is just a mob room. So just like a mini boss room, except the mini boss is just lots of enemies. And there was an alarm at the top there that triggers and summons all the enemies. You can skip these rooms pretty quickly just by destroying the alarm instead of clearing out the room of all the enemies. So we're going to be doing that most of the time. But there is an experience and leveling system in this game, and that serves two functions in the speedrun. The first one is that every time you level up, Gunvolt's health heals to maximum again, and he also gets slightly more health on the HP cap as well. So that'll let Benja do some more damage boosting where needed, and also just help him stay alive in the tighter scenarios. You can see him there. He's using those platforms the theme of this stage is magnetism, and he's using electromagnetism to navigate the magnets and to control these platforms to block those security guns. So every stage has a sort of a gimmick like this that that adds its own challenge to the gameplay. You've seen a few of these pink barriers as well. These are called hexapiles, and they just basically are the end marker for that area of the stage. So you usually have 3 acts to a stage. We've done Act 1 and Act 2, and now we're at a first boss, which is Carrera. Carrera is a big guy with gravity and magnetism powers, and this will feature later in the run very prominently. His ability can disable your electric powers. You can see there's a gauge.
Really good RNG.
Yeah, that is really good RNG. You can see he's just fantastic pattern. You can see there's a gauge beneath Gunvolt that ticks down whenever you're using his electric powers. If that runs out, Gunvolt overheats, and he has to wait a set period of time before he can recover and use his powers again. And this giant, this giant black hole that's being created there can completely disable it. It can cause overheat immediately. So that is a bad thing. We want that not to happen, and that will recur a few times later in the run. So, and also the little sword there that you saw appear before it disappeared. That is the source of every boss is an adept or a psychic that can control a certain kind of power, and they have it sealed away in these sword-shaped objects called glaives. And they release their glaives to transform into these armored states when they want to fight you, and that is also going to feature in later on, as every time you beat them, they leave pieces of it behind, and we have a certain character is stalking us and picking up the pieces, and we'll see him about halfway through.
So okay, right now we're beating the first boss, so we have a new mechanic here. Gunvolt is kind of a Mega Man game. Of course, it looks similar, but the first difference here is Gunvolt using different guns, and that guns have a first particular part called a clip. Every single gun in this game have a different amount of clips and different ways to use it. Right now we're obtaining Naga. Right now we have 5 clips, and this is a really good weapon against this particular boss, and that's why this boss is the second one, because without this weapon it's going to be always an annoying part.
That's right.
This gun around like 1 minute here if you want to, something like that.
The default weapon can tag up to 3 times and has auto fire. With this weapon, you have to fire manually, but it can tag up to 5 targets, and you're also able to charge it to tag a large number of enemies in a row. And that increase in the tag cap is extremely important for this upcoming boss, as you have 2 HP gauges to manage, and failing to do that correctly can result in huge time losses. Oh.
Right now we have
you're almost ready to see it there.
And a new mechanic, right now at least this time you have these dark rooms, and these particular dark rooms can be solved only with these buttons. We have different colors. So normally right now we have 1, later we have 2, and finally in the last one we have 3 different colors. So we're gonna change every single time, and of course the screen completely gonna change and indicate if you're doing correctly or not. after continue passing on the part of the stage. Right now we have the same thing as Mike called before, the alarm part, but in this time we're gonna kill every single enemy, and the main reason is because right now we're gonna grinding for a particular skill, so this part is a really good way to go to that part. So right now, for example, we're on level 3, we have
there we go.
And Galactic Patch is a really good skill to help us in a little glitch later.
It serves as a bit of a safety play as well, during marathons, because the intended function of the skill is to just heal a small portion of your HP, which of course is helpful for survivability. But we're going to be exploiting a glitch from the Mega Man games of old in order to skip a large portion of the stage that follows this one. There's Elise. The story here is very complex, and we do not have the time to go into it. But the main thing is she was experimented on. She has the power to give life to things and to resurrect the dead. She has a split personality, and she manifested it. And now there's 2 of her, and you can see now. So Benja he's tagged her 5 times, 3 on one and 2 on the other. It is very important that he keeps the HP gauges of these 2 bosses synchronized, because if one dies and the other is still alive, they're able to resurrect them, and then we just have to repeat it and do it all over again. So a huge time waster if not careful.
I did a little messed up, but of course the RNG helped me a lot.
Yeah.
That part, of course, you don't really want to have the revive time, and the main reason is you're gonna losing a lot of time with the bad RNG, and at the same time, if you have a revive time, sometimes it's kind of weird and tricky to fix that part. So usually you don't really want to. So right now, this is the boring part of the game. We need to do a little bit of menuing. Right now, we're gonna keep Galactic Patch, and I'm gonna try this glitch called Double Jump. The double jump maybe was discovered by Azure, a runner from Europe. And the way to use it in every combo game, you have a frame, and a little window with a few frames. For example, this game you have only 1 frame to do on a double jump. On Gunvolt 2, you have 2 frames in every single skill, but here is kind of annoying because 1 frame sounds really hard. So we're gonna try to do this glitch with a pause buffering, and if I got correct sprite on Gunvolt, everything's fine. I can skip and save around 1 minute.
Yeah, there's a lot of starting and stopping if we listen.
We're gonna try the backup.
We're gonna try to do it again. Astrosphere.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, there we go. Okay, so what happened there?
It's more hard than I look. It's more hard than
it is. Well, it's 1 frame. This game runs at 60 frames per second. So 1 frame is 1/60th of a second. That's all. That is all the time that you have to make that work. This is why we use the pause buffer to try and buy ourselves an extra bit of time. So what happens at the end of after using a skill, there's that 1 frame window where the game considers Gunvolt to be standing on the ground, and therefore, if you press jump during that exact frame, Gunvolt will jump as if he jumped off the floor, and that has enabled Benja to do a mid-air jump and skip a very large portion of the stage.
Yeah, just saving around, I think will be 2 trap parts and 2 long ways to go. So you're saving around 1 minute, and of course, if you have a really good mobility, is maybe 45 seconds, but of course, you really want to save it.
You can't really see it right now, but there is rising floodwater chasing Benja right now, because the boss of the stage has decided that rather than fight you, he's going to flood the place and kill you and everyone in it, just to save some time and energy.
Oh.
Well, yeah, we're going so fast that we haven't even seen the surface of the water yet. So, it's a pretty straightforward stage, but the tricky part about that is, unlike in the Mega Man games, Gunvolt is human. He can't breathe underwater, so he will take damage until he dies. And also, if he tries to use his lightning powers underwater, they will short out and he will immediately overheat. So water is a really, really bad situation for him.
So if you really want to know if you did this part correctly, you're not gonna watch any part of water. For example, here I don't have any animation of water, so I did a really good climb.
Yeah, we did.
And right now, this is the funny part. Ooh. Now it's the funny part.
Alright, so this boss's power is wormholes, if you couldn't tell. And, hi, Bedman.
Okay. Really good RNG, no sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. And now we're gonna do a little trap. We're gonna stay behind of him, so we can continue keep damage. Now we're not gonna jump really high because we really want to keep him doing this thing. The big cam, maybe? Yeah, this is big cam. Okay. Good RNG. Now we're gonna keep him really far and wait for his lasers. And the very reason you really want to be far is just because the order of the lasers. And the last one gives you the same opportunity to stay on his behind and keep damaging.
Yeah, that's a really good fight. Oh, well.
No, it's fine.
Up until that last part, that was basically a perfect fight from an ordinary run of the game. The idea is that because all of those kudos, all of those that counter on the left, all that gets counted towards your score at the end of a mission and contributes towards your rank. So ideally, when you're fighting a boss, you're trying not to get hit. But this is a speedrun. Damage boosting is fair game. So there's a theme to the bosses as well. Every boss so far is based on one of the 7 deadly sins. Lazy Laser, that guy was based on sloth. The one before was envy, and the one before that, Carrera, was greed. And their armors are all based on the animals that represent those sins. So the first guy was a hedgehog. The second guy said that the second girl was a snake, and our guy just there was a grizzly bear. And you'll see more of that. In every single one of these games, Inti absolutely loads their characters designs with all these unified themes, and they're really cool. So
now this is going to be this is, I think, one of the most challenging stages of the game. The main reason is this is the same as when you're playing Mega Man 6 and you're on the stage when you need to fight against Protectors. This stage have a lot of global cycles and at the same time have a few perfect parts. Hopefully I'm gonna do it correctly on the last jump. I really want to do that flag strike.
This is the intermission stage.
Right.
Let's see.
Okay, now it's time to try it. Oh, nice!
Nice job.
That jump is more tricky than I left because I have maybe part of pixels, less than 10. So it's really tricky.
This
is the same as this. Ooh.
This stage is the intermission stage, so no matter what order you do the stages in, you'll do this stage at the same point in any playthrough. And the order in which you did the stages previously will actually have an impact here, because the boss we're going to fight at the end of this segment is going to use the powers of the bosses we've defeated thus far. So very deliberately chose the bosses we did because it makes this upcoming boss less random and therefore easier to kill quickly. There's also the second act in the stage has these mirrors that invert the stage and your controls, and so there's a little bit of there's an extra element of challenge to the platforming. It's not too bad though.
Yeah, everything's fine right now.
All right. Now the boss that was doing that, we're not going to fight them because the guy who's been stalking us all this time got there first and killed him before us. So we're going to fight him now, and he's going to use those boss's powers against us. This is Kofi.
Okay, really bad. Well, no, that's not bad. It's kind of decent RNG because I really want the black hole. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're here. Changing.
Okay. Nice so far.
Okay, this is a regular RNG.
Yeah.
It's not good, but at the same time, it's not bad at all. Because the worst RNG is when he using the Merak RNG.
Yeah.
Okay, everything's fine.
Very good. So you saw there, he the beam that we just turned around because that beam is just it's like a basilisk stare. It only works on you if you look at it. So by turning around, we avoid getting turned to stone. And those bullets, those purple orbs, he got those from Carrera. We don't want to touch those because they will disable our electricity, and that is bad for speedruns. We'll get more of that later. So next we've got Stratos.
Stratos. Stratos is one of the most annoying stages when you're trying to learn the game. I need to admit, this is one of the most annoying parts.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because here you have a new mechanic. Stratos is based on bugs, so he has a different RNGs here, and of course you have here on a global cycle, but with RNG. So it's really annoying to do that part correctly, and of course pray for some RNG. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna do it right. Everything you did is right, but of course you have a bad RNG and you need to lose around 10 or 20 seconds.
Global cycles are the best.
Yeah.
Well, they can really work to our advantage, but again, if you make a mistake, they can really cost us dearly. So
the first part is really easy. You don't need to do a lot of stuff here, but the second part you have the RNG.
The tricky part is wasn't using the flash field that much during that stage because those vines, they crumble if we use the flash field, and therefore we lose our footholds. We don't want to do that. So he's just being there you go. So you see it disappeared immediately. So you have to wait for the flower to open and then use Astrosphere. And there we go. We're done. Now that mini boss was producing a drug that kept the real boss of this stage stable and docile. So now he's going to wake up and cause problems. Although that being said, we're not really going to see too many of the flies because we're going fast enough. But basically, this guy sends a swarm of flies after you that devours everything in its path. It's pretty grotesque.
Okay, now it's time for the RNG part. Sometimes Stratos is going to send us some bugs, and that bugs you can't kill him. The only way to avoid them is just using your Astrosphere. For example, like that, you need to pass for this part, but of course if you're using your flash field, you can pass it. But in the same time, you don't really want to, because your flash field, if you really want to do everything correctly and don't kill any enemy or doing any extra some part, is really tricky. For hard mode, for example, this part is always your run killer. Oh, what's happening to the game?
Cool. Everything alright?
Okay, everything is fine. Everything is go back.
Okay.
I think the game is overloaded a little bit, but again, everything is go back to normal.
Yeah, I'm a couple of seconds behind though, so I don't see these things immediately. Alright, so there's Stratos. He is based on the fly. His sin is gluttony. He wants to eat us. And because he sure is a character.
Okay, right now we're gonna try to do a quick kill. This quick kill is kinda tricky because you need to use your Astrosphere a lot, and the way to do that is we're gonna try to skip his DM. So maybe right now we're gonna have the opportunity. Nice.
Okay, so
everything's fine right now, I think. Yeah, everything's fine. So now it's time for
nicely lined up.
And that's it. You can skip it.
That's it. Time.
This animation, just save around
nicely
5
done.
or 6 seconds.
So the DM, the desperation move, where a graphic cuts in with the name of the move. This, I believe, is the only guy we're able to skip. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the only one.
Yeah. And you saw the next stage you'll see, if you look in the lower left corner of the screen, you'll see these 3 gold icons. Those are your skill points. It costs one of those to use a galvanic patch or an astrosphere every time. So we can't just throw them out whenever we want. And so that's why a skip like that is pretty tricky, because you only have a certain number of uses. And if you mess up, well then that's it. So they recharge over time, but we don't want to wait for that.
Yeah, and like I said before, this version, this port specifically, is not really good optimized. And the way to do the quick kill is really different in this version and on the PS4 or Switch version of the game, because in that version you have a really good part of load screens. For example, the Azure here is loads really slow, but on the Switch version that's load maybe 3 times faster than this version. So the quick kills are different because every single time you try to do that on this game, during that animation, the game time is still running, so you don't really want to use it a lot.
Benja neatly avoiding every enemy in this, in this. Well, I said I cursed it. The first active Viper stage is a train that is just full of obstacles and roadblocks and enemies, and so it's just a bit of a gauntlet. This boss here will hide his hitbox a couple of times, then he'll jump up onto the ceiling. So just oh, maybe not. No, he decided. No,
this boss is really easy. But of course, this boss, the only way to do the quick kill is depending on your matching. Of course, my matching is good. It's better than the normal one, but of course, it's not the best one on the Gunvolt series. For example, Dan really have a monster matching in this game, so he can kill him like 2 or 3 seconds before me, just for matching. Okay. This game rewards you a lot if you have this skill.
This stage is on a global cycle with these conveyor belts, so we're trying to just get get to the middle of the stage as quickly as possible. Yes, we skipped that block, nice. So we don't get stuck there waiting for it to get past. That'll save some time.
That saves you 5 seconds, and of course it's really useful. But the tricky part is when you receive a little hit, you have the possibility to miss it.
Oh, just shatter the alarm and just skip the mob room entirely. Off we go. We're not worried about leveling up anymore because we got the only skill that we need, and we've already used it for the one purpose we needed it for. So now we're just interested in saving time. Every so often he will level up as he kills enemies and gains experience, and that'll help out because it'll fully restore his life, and that can come in really handy at various moments. But otherwise, we're not too worried about it.
This, now it's time to still moving it, and now it's time for damage boosting because this port sucks.
Yeah.
This port sucks a lot.
Viper stage is somewhat notorious.
Hopefully this time he's gonna do it.
Oh man. Benja was demonstrating, it was showing me a strat before the run started, and no matter what, the boss just would not do the one move he wanted them to do so he could demonstrate it. It was hilarious. So this is Viper. He's the Sin of Wrath. He's a unicorn. Because of course he is. Look at him. And... Okay.
Okay, maybe he's gonna do it right now? Okay, no. Maybe not. Okay, no.
He's not playing ball. You can see that the flash field
is a really good position.
Okay. Now, for the most infamous DM in the whole series, look at this. We're in bullet hell now. Check it out. Here comes Sunshine Nova, baby. Look at that. Oh no!
No, don't worry. Just won't get.
We don't care because it's a speedrun. But in order to dodge all that, you have to micro walk through all of those fireballs. Oh, what happened there?
Ah. No, I just missed input when a little damage. So it's like, oh wait, what? Because I think I did everything is fine, but I missed I think 1 or 2 shots, so that's why I lost a little bit of damage, and I received an extra one.
That boss is the bane of casual players. When you're playing this game for the first time, or just playing it casually, that boss is horrible. And you know what? When you're playing it hardcore and going for the no damage runs and the S ranks and the maximum kudos outputs, he's even more hell because you don't want to get hit even more. Then
I think the most annoying part to play against him is on hard mode. In hard mode, you're losing.
That boss was programmed by the series writer Toshiaki Tai, and he is an absolute sadist in both his writing and his programming. But now here we're at the best stage. This is Yoda's stage. Yoda is the leader of this group of bosses we've been fighting, and coolest one in my personal opinion. This stage is a tower climb using these glyphs that that launch you up in whatever direction. The soundtrack is absolutely slamming, and it's just a cool boss fight. I really love this stage. It's the one I always go back to. You can set up like 8 enemy kills in this stage just by tagging them as you go through the corridors, and you just get massive score bonuses. The kind of thing we're not going to be doing here. Oh,
okay, damage is the first part.
Oh, I think the stream is frozen for me.
Now it's time to try it again. Damage less again, please.
Oh no, what's happening?
Wait, something happened?
Yeah, the stream is frozen for me, unfortunately, so I can't see what's happening right now. Oh, there we go.
Oh, don't worry. Yeah, no, I'm gonna explain it. Right now, this part is just the second part of climbing, and you have this kind of platforms that moving into a jump part, really far away. This part is kind of tricky because you have a lot of these big machines with rockets, and that's the annoying part of the stage. But everything is fine. We finished the stage damage less. So that's the most important part.
It's fine, yeah, no, you just have to make sure that you catch them at the right edges and angles, and you go all the way up, and there we go. So...
yeah. So, the Yoda stage was damageless, this is the important part. It's going to be damageless here on the boss fight. That is the most important part. Okay, which RNG? Okay, this is, he's going to be on the center right now. So this is a free damage for us.
So he...
and now, side by side, and this is going to be a regular RNG. I prefer the other one because you have more opportunity to deal damage. But still, this is a total cycle on the first phase.
And during that move, his patterns are very erratic, and if you don't catch him early, then you can lose a lot of damage. There you go.
No, I really want the damage to this. But I don't have any extra damage, so we're gonna lose in a little bit of time. Why not?
Oh.
No, don't worry. I really want to try
damage.
That's
fine. Oh, you're doing...
same RNG 3 times. Thank you. Okay, and this is the most annoying part, because usually for the speedrunners, we really want to stay behind of him, but right now I'm gonna challenge him. And this is only
That's right.
Oh, okay, I just...
this is what you're supposed to do.
Just...
oh, unfortunate. That's what you're actually supposed to do, by standing in front of him and filling him with bullets. You slow him down until the shockwave above disappears. But unfortunately, we didn't quite get that in time.
Yeah, that was really
cool. That boss is so cool.
Only 1 damage.
That boss is basically a human power armor version of Jehuti from Zone of the Enders, and he's a homage to various characters from the Mega Man Zero and ZX series, and I absolutely love him. Yeah, no, with the bit drones, yeah, no, that's absolute. Inti love using bit drones for their boss designs. It's one of their favorite design choices. But yeah, there's definitely a healthy dose of Albert in there. He's also heavily based on Helios from ZX Advent. And also, if you remember the first boss of Mega Man ZX, High Volt, the bird with the detachable legs and the lightning and the lasers. Like, it's all like Inti. They are not shy about using a cool idea more than once. If it's if it was cool once, it's cool 1,000 times, and I personally love them for that.
Yeah, I think it's loved a lot using some of the resources from Mega Man CX. For example, right now we need to wait on 2022 for Likes 2, and on Likes 2 we watching some part of the Lava, and that part reference to CX2.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we
like
have a lot of different Gumball games from CX.
This series is basically a spiritual successor to those series, as you know, the series discontinued and they went independent. So it's but what you're looking at is basically what could have been in Mega Man ZX, and you know what? I'm okay with that. because these games are great. I love Gunvolt.
Yeah,
so
everything's fine.
Yeah. So that was a very brief intermission stage. It's very much the same as the mini boss from the end of the introductory stage, with just a slightly tougher version of the mini boss. So now we're into the end game. So we've done our 8 robot masters, our 8 mavericks, and now we are at the fortress. So this stage has a lot of wind physics, and right now the wind is going against us. So and especially if you jump, the wind affects you even more strongly. So Benja's not going to be jumping a huge amount for this segment, because it will slow him down a lot. So we're only jumping when we absolutely have to.
Yeah, this part of the stage is more tougher than you think. The main reason is you think, hey, this stage is really hard, so we have galvanic pads and we can fix it. But the answer is no. The main reason is because that giant robot we've seen before, we're going to watch him here 3 times, and that means we're going to use 3 times Master Sphere, so we don't have any space to heal enough and don't try to lose in time. So this is really challenging, and right now this is the more difficult part.
The stage is very costly for your skill points, so yeah, you got to space them out. But now the wind's at our back, and so you can see by dash jumping and then using the flash field to hover, you get some serious airtime. So
okay,
here we go.
Which RNG?
This is the first of our mantis tanks. There's gonna be 3 of those in this stage. Oh, there we get overheat, but that's fine because we couldn't have attacked him anyway.
Okay, no drops here. Oh, but level up. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Okay. See, that's what I was talking about. So now we've leveled up. We got a free full heal. For this stage, we will absolutely take that.
Yeah, this stage is the best part when you really want to recover your HP. You have 2 possibilities. The first of all is 1 drop from this boss. Yeah, you have the possibility to have 1 HP drop. And the second one is just leveling up, and especially you really want to special up right now. Because you're in the middle of the stage, and this is the most annoying part. But if you haven't started, it's really good too. Right now, for example, this is a really bad RNG because I don't have any single drop. So if I don't get that level up, I right now have 50% of my HP. So that's gonna be really tough, and I need to play a little bit slower than usual.
You'll notice that in that second mini boss fight, they had a spike pit. Now we have 2 spike pits, just to spice things up. Spikes, unlike Mega Man, they're not lethal. They don't instantly kill you. They still hurt, and it costs you your. Well, we don't want to die.
Okay, finally 1 drop.
It's fine. Okay, that's all the mini boss has done. So we're clear of that for the skill points.
Okay, take it.
In the normal game, you have a mechanic called Pervasion, where if you're not using the flash field, and you have some EP in your meter, electric points, instead of taking damage, you will lose some EP and take no damage, and so you can deal with spikes that way. But in the speedrun mode, that is specifically disabled for the most of the game, so that's not an option there.
Yeah, the main reason is Prevention is a really useful, really useful tool, and of course that makes the game really easier.
Oh no, like I mean, you could literally brute force the entire game with Prevention. It wouldn't be much of a spectacle. Oh god, yeah, we don't want to watch that. You can see that.
No, this is actually pretty good because I have normal damage.
I was looking at the fact you got hit and it punched you over a pit, you know. Okay, we're doing Lazy Laser again. So we're at the start of the traditional Mega Man boss rush, but you'll notice that for this particular boss, they've given him both wind physics and a pit on either side of the platform. There's it makes it just a tiny bit more restricted how you fight him. But no biggie. Oh, the sword's gonna break now. Yeah, there we go. So.
Okay, that's the first part, and now this is the most fun part of the game.
All right, this would be an opportunity. We're going to be riding a space elevator all the way to Earth's orbit, and we're going to be fighting a boss rush along the way. So this is, as you well know, this is an opportune time to read any donations we might have, queued up.
At this point. Thank you.
I think that was one of my friends, actually. I'm gonna have to check that out afterwards. Cryo, yeah, maybe. He's probably watching anyway. Shoutouts to Cryoloft. Oh. I definitely understood what you just said. Okay, boss number 2. We got 2 more to go before this elevator ride is over. So by all means, keep those readings coming if we happen to have them. I know. I'll tell you what. I'll add some flavor to this right now. So, I mentioned earlier that this boss here is basically a massive homage to Jehuti, the mech from the Zone of the Enders. He's zero shifting around the place at light speed. He's firing lasers. He's got wrist swords. He's just. I love this boss so much. Like, it's everything I love about mechs and Toku. Most of so many of these enemy designs are heavily inspired by tokusatsu shows like Kamen Rider. Into are very big fans of that. It shows in all of their work. And we see, there we go. We did it this time. So you saw that the stream of bullets from the gun slowed him down enough for a safe passage to appear and escape. So if. Yep. Well, in the sequel, Copen, the rival character, becomes playable, and he basically mechanically is a playable version of the final boss you're talking about, and it's sick as all hell. So, if you liked Mega Man Zero and CX, how have you not played these games yet? Play Azure Striker Gunvolt.
Nice.
That goes to everybody, by the way. Play Azure Striker Gunvolt. It's a sick series.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah, this time it's normal.
Favorite DM of all time. It just keeps going too. But oh wow! Did we actually? We did.
Yeah.
I don't know if the how strong the audio is on the stream, but Benja just broke 1,000 kudos, and that means that he activated the J-pop, and J-pop starts blaring over the game.
No. But I deactivate right now because I'm using the skill. But you know what? I'm gonna activate again. I'm gonna activate again. Why not? He
immediately deactivated again because if you use one of your supers, your special attacks. It resets it. Now, we're at Elise again, but you notice there was a third one in the middle. This is the reason for the boss rush, by the way. Elise, the third Elise in the middle, used her resurrection skill and resurrected everybody. And now we have to deal with her as well. She cannot be targeted, so she just stands there in the middle sniping you, and we're guaranteed to resurrect the other two once. Here we go. So she brings the other two back to life, and now, in order to avoid that happening a second time, we got to do the same thing as before. Benja has to very carefully synchronize their HP bars so that he kills them at the same time.
Maybe I'm gonna do it right. Yeah, thank you.
Whew! That's a relief. And then our boy Copen here in a cutscene came in and killed the third one. So no more of that. No more divides. And now Copen has everybody's attacks. So there we go. Just look away from the basilisk stare. Shoot the guns.
Whoa, the RNG. Let's go.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Dodge the bullets. Nice damage stream. Even better. Yep. That's the flies from Stratos. He doesn't move, doesn't go anywhere, he doesn't block you. Okay. And here comes the DM. This is the DM of the guy he killed in the intro stage. Or sorry, in the intermission stage. Where he summoned his clothes of himself. Just form an Astrophere to tank through it.
Nice.
And that's it, that's fight. Nicely done.
Everything is fine. Okay, really good boss rush. No, I don't have any problem with that, and of course I did the correct quick kill. Already the big problem with that weapon is the sub weapon, like the minigun throwing a lot of clips, and that gives you a lot of trouble on the list because they're changing all the time your clips. So it's really good to do the correct quick kill with that weapon because just saving around 10 seconds against Naga. So right now, this is the last stage on the bad ending of the game.
That's right.
And this stage is kind of tricky. It's not really hard at all. The only big trouble is just the boss, because sometimes when you're playing casually, you're trying to use the skills on the true form, and the correct part of that, in that specific boss, when you're using a skill to try to deal damage, you're gonna lose in it because that boss was programmed to having a sum of damage reduction every single time when you're trying to use a skill. So it's kind of annoying, and the only way to do it really fast against him is just playing with your normal weapons.
Those katana wielding guys on a casual run are extremely annoying because they're fast, they block your bullets, they're just very, they're just not fun to deal with, but thankfully we don't have to deal with them here. Straight to the boss. We are now dealing with the big leader of all of those guys, their commanding officer, Nova. And the trick here is that, so we haven't seen any of her, but that butterfly lady behind her is she's like she's basically a stand. She's basically the power of the girl in the capsule there who rescued the intro stage. And Nova has captured her and is using her against us. He's using her to shield him, so in order for us to damage him, what we have to do is touch her with our flash fields to disrupt her, and then we can tag him and damage him as normal.
Yeah.
Alright,
it's fine, level up.
Very good. Level up. That's very welcome during this fight. And powered through the DM, so here we go. This is the second form, the obligatory final form of the quote-unquote last boss. So, we were fighting him untransformed beforehand. Now he's decided to transform, and this is how fucking powerful his is. Excuse me. So, you can see we have these two bits on we call them bits, on the left and the right. They control the the force field that is protecting his core. So we have to tag them and electrocute them to expose the core, and then deal damage to the core as normal. So, yeah. Alright, really quick fight. This is his super. He's summoning a supernova from above us. If we don't kill him in time, this fight actually becomes unwinnable, and touching it is an insta-kill, and it can actually cover his hitbox. But, Benja killed him before I even finished talking, so,
Also, you have the big notes here. This boss is similar to Sempert on the second form of Mega Man CX, like a really transformation boss. And the second one, I obtained the perfect RNG because I don't have any RNG that give me the bad luck the bad luck in that boss is he obtained on some part of invincibility, so you can deal any damage. But of course, I obtained the perfect RNG, so I don't lose any time on that boss.
And now, Speedrun Mon does this by default. We're going into the true ending of the game, where there is a final stage afterwards. Gunvolt is now superpowered by the Muse, the butterfly lady you just saw. This gives him a couple of things. First of all, the pre-evasion mechanic we described is now active, and his EP is infinite. He can use that. He can use his energy infinitely. He can also infinitely air dash and air jump. So he's basically like, you know, superpowered. He's a god right now. We're fighting Carrera again, which you might think is a bit odd because, you know, we're finishing the boss rush now after the final boss. But there's a reason for that, because this guy's power is the one that inflicts the chaff status, the one that can disable your powers, and they put in here to demonstrate to the player that yes, even in your superpowered state, that can still affect you and disable you, and that is going to matter in the final boss stage, in the final boss fight after this. See, he recovers from it quite quickly, but it can be the difference between life and death and the boss fight to come. So that's Carrera out of the way for the last time.
Okay.
If you haven't played the game before, if you haven't played the game video before, apologies. This is a massive spoiler.
Yeah, it's all good the same.
We are about to fight Asimov, which was the leader of the group that saved Gunvolt from the evil corporation in the first place. Gunvolt, this guy wants to kill all non-psychics, and so that and he believes in psychic supremacy. He's Magneto, basically, and Gunvolt is Wolverine. Gunvolt stopped playing ball anymore. He killed them both. And then he got resurrected, and now we're doing this. He also, off-screen, had a fight with Copen and stole his gun, so he has those Greed Snatcher bullets that can disable your powers, which gives him a little bit of an edge. And the stream is frozen for me again, so it can't actually...
I can support you. Right now, we're playing against Asimov. Asimov have a lot of different RNG, and the only way to damage him is trying to fight against his flagship, and I'm gonna try.
Ah, there we go.
Nice, really good. I did a dialogue skip. This dialogue skip, the only way to do that is just doing a flagship.
Nicely done.
He's trying to do the dialogue and just save around 5 seconds. So that's actually pretty good. And you have 1 frame too, so this is actually the same trick as the double jump.
Yeah. As you can see there, you know, he clashes with Asimov to short out his field, field and damage him, and there we go. It's one of the cooler boss fights because it's just his abilities they so perfectly match yours. He has your same power, he has all your same equipment and everything, and it's just it's a really cool fight. But yeah,
it's a really cool fight.
That's Azure Striker Gunvolt.
I think
nice job, Benja.
my time is just overestimate than expected, just because I used a lot of my resources and I lost a lot of the load screen. I think this run without a lot of troubles, without for my microphone, my camera and everything like that, it just will be a high 49 or a low 50 on game time, and that time is actually kind of insane on speedrun mode. So I think this is a really good run.
Just kind of got, you know, just screwed over by the actual game's performance, unfortunately. But I mean, you know, yeah, that's Azure Striker Gunvolt. It's a great game. Play it, and
yeah, just play it.
Yeah,
play the game.
Good game. There's 3 of them available right now, and there are, to everybody's surprise, there's 2 more coming next year, and they both look extremely cool. So. If you were a fan of Mega Man games, Mega Man X, Zero, ZX, and yeah, like these, you know, where have you been all these years? These games are exactly for you. But yeah, that's it. Benja and I will be back tomorrow night for Blaster Master 03. But
yeah, and that will be really interesting because today one of the Japanese runners, Gengi, break the world record. So now it's time to break it again, and I'm gonna try to do it in this marathon. Why not?
Oh, that'd be so hype. I actually hope it happens.
Why not? And of course, thanks to the staff to this really good event for having me, and of course, thanks a lot to Mike to commentate with me.
My pleasure.
My English is not perfect because I'm from Chile, but of course, having a really good friend here and support me on this kind of events, really good, and I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. And I'm looking forward to doing it again tomorrow night.